Hey everybody, Jared of Second Life Design. Welcome back to Woodshop Wednesday. Last week we got into Tracksaws a little bit, kind of an intro thing, and had a good response to it. Had some good questions that were pretty basic, but I wanted to start with the basics with those. So I want to continue on with that and kind of see where it goes. A lot of it was related mainly to the track, kind of how it worked, how it's secured, and kind of the different features about it. So let's dive right into it. This is my 4-foot Festool track. They're all going to be pretty basic and very similar in the sense that the side profile here with the dovetail going up, the dovetail going down, and then the flat part, that may change, but as far as the two green strips on here, this is the non-stick surface, so the saw will slide across this really nice and easy. That's always going to be on every different track you get. On the back side, these are 2 foam strips that prevent the track from moving. So when it's on your work surface, it will pretty well hold on here. You can clamp it down, but if you're pretty careful and not pushing the saw too hard, side loading it, it's going to stay right where you intend it. This last strip, this sacrificial strip, is where the blade cuts through. This is like a splinter guard, so if you're dealing with a finished plywood, like an oak or something that chips out really bad, this is going to help with that, where it's going to prevent any chip out on the plywood. So this is sacrificial. It will have to be replaced over time. It will get chewed up, as the blade moves, and that's just part of it. So it uses self-stick tape, like a double-sided thing. I've actually peeled this off. You move it out 1/4 of an inch, put it right back on, and you'd be surprised how much life you can get out of this. So that's going to be across the board, no matter what a brand, they're all going to have those same kind of features. As far as the actual the clamping, if you do need to clamp it down, they're all at least going to have one T-slot here. I called it a dovetail earlier. Same concept. This is where you can actually slide a clamp in and clamp it down. So I've got the Festool one. These are crazy expensive, like $40 a piece, I think. I bought them as part of a kit. That's the only reason I bought them, but they will slide in here, and then you can clamp that to your work piece. Definitely works. Before I had these, I used the DeWalt track clamp. These are $30 a set, and these are it's a little bit slower, but it is, it has a deeper throat, and I actually kind of prefer this because it can clamp around. If I'm doing a big piece of plywood, I can clamp it to the plywood and my work table. So then that holds the piece and the clamp to the track, so it's kind of all more secure that way. This will work in the same way. So as far as work holding, that's it's pretty much as basic as it gets, and these work really well. I like having them around. So yeah, really simple. If you're doing with big slabs or something, it's going to work. So one last question about the saw. Let me turn the camera around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so here's my saw, the TS75. It's huge. It works great for big slabs. For plywood, it's a little clunky and big. It works, obviously, but it's a little clunky. But it engages, rides on that track, and there is no play whatsoever. Someone commented me or sent me a message on Instagram, actually, about what kind of slop it had in here. Every saw that I've ever seen has adjustments on here where it's actually, you can adjust how tight it is to the track. So that's what eliminates all that slop, to where you will not have any side play whatsoever. And that's, to me, the biggest advantage of these over using like the clamp-on straight edge is no matter what, it's cutting in a straight line. You have it has no choice but to be on this straight path. Where the clamp-on ones are using a circular saw, it's great, but you have to hold it to that fence, and if it gets off, you're losing that straight edge. So there is the big advantage. Really, the only disadvantage I can even think of with track saws are the blades. They are all very specific to their saws because it is a plunging type saw where you squeeze it, and then the blade drops down from the base, compared to like a circular saw where it's fixed. The blades are very specific to this. Most of it's due to the arbor size. But the aftermarket's gotten strong enough to where even for this Festool one, like a high-end import saw, there are aftermarket replacement blades available. There's definitely ripping blades and cross-cutting blades, finish blades. They're all out there. So, kind of do some research before you buy a saw. but you can find aftermarket blades for them. So that really isn't even a detractor at this point. All right, guys, that's what I got for tonight. Pretty basic stuff for some people, but for some, it's very, very critical stuff. I know everyone's all over the board and as far as experience goes, so I want to catch everybody up so we're all speaking the same language. And yeah, I think the Tracksaw would be, I said in the last video, it's one of the first tools I would buy. It's it's very versatile, and it's good because it can give you good results. It can be better results than a table saw, and it's portable and lightweight, and you don't need as much space and all that stuff. So I really can't say it enough, but getting efficient with one of these will just make you a better woodworker. That's all there is to it. Just kind of changing the thinking a little bit. So we'll get into that a little bit more later. If you have any more questions or comments, always looking for ideas for Woodshop Wednesday. I'm interested in what you guys want to see more of. If it's stuff you've seen from my social media that you're interested in, whether it's into some laminate and veneer things. I do a lot of that in my day job, so I can speak pretty well about that. Different, shop operations, or the business side of it. How much to charge for things and all that. We can definitely go down that lane as well. So let me know what you guys are after, and I will accommodate. You can always message me on Instagram at Secondlifedesign. I'm pretty good about checking that one. Anything else? Let me know. Thanks.